I hope your weekend is off to a great start. Another awesome LEGO review is coming your way. Welcome back to Brickscale Studio. My name is Jeff. Thank you so much for joining me today on what is normally a superhero Saturday. But as you recall, last week we are out of parts for the Batmobile build. Now, I did get some parts a day or two ago. I still have not received the missing pack that I've been waiting for since February or March. But I may be able to continue with some videos. I think I got some parts to do the dashboard and maybe some of the driver's seat and passenger seat maybe. So I will go through those, and maybe next week we will have another Batmobile video. But in case we don't, we will have another LEGO review. So today we're going to take a look at the River Steamboat. It is the newest LEGO, well, not the newest, they've announced the Pixar lamp, but before that, this was the newest Ideas set, and it's the largest, I believe. It's almost 4,100 pieces. It was a really cool build. One thing I was worried about was before it was released, you know, the LEGO Ambassador Network people, they get advanced free copies of sets to review and reveal on their channels. I am not one of those people, unfortunately. But I watched 3 videos, and all 3 of them, there's this part, it's like the gearbox for the rudder. I'll put a picture of it up here. In all 3 videos that I watched, theirs was warped, like it was misshapen, and it did not work. So I was a little worried about that, wondering if like they had fixed that or what was going to happen. And I am happy to report that ours was good. And everything worked out well. But let's get into the build, and then we will talk about it after. All right, here it is, the LEGO Ideas River Steamboat. So this box is so big, it almost does not even fit on my table. This is a whopping 4,090 pieces. I believe this is the largest Ideas set to date, and it is set 21356. So let me see if I can turn this over so we can take a look at the back of the box. But yeah, my goodness, so many little functions here. And it's sort of built in a modular style so that we can remove components of it. There's some working gears, the paddle turns. We'll get into all of that. So let's open this up and see what we've got. I'm going to already say I'm pretty sure there's probably going to be a box within a box, but let's see. Yep, first thing, let me see if I can get that out. So yes, we have a box within the box. We love those because we can use them to sort pieces and keep our bags all together. Alright, so again, doesn't look like we have any paper bags. So let's get this box within the box open. My goodness. So many pieces. Oh, alright, so here are some hull pieces. And then it looks like our manual is in a paper bag. All right, so let me get this all organized and we'll be right back. Okay, there were an amazing 32 numbered bags. Plus we have 2 unnumbered bags, and then we have these hull pieces, a very thick manual, and then we do have a small sticker sheet. So let me set these aside. The stickers over here. And if we look in the manual, so pretty standard fare. So here we have Meet the Designer. So this was a fan. Like I said, this is an idea set. So we do have a fan designer. This goes over some of the features of the boat. And then here we talk about sort of real river steamboats. And then we just get right into the build. All right. So let's get started with bag number 1. Okay, that is it for bag number 1. So you can see we've already got a start on this rolling mechanism. So you can bet this is going to come back to power something further along in the build. So now we're going to move on to bag 2. And for bag 2, we're going to need these parts plus bag number 2. All right, that is the end of bag number 2. So we've got the entire hull assembled, and we've got some detailing here. So we are on to bag number 3. All right, that's the end of bag number 3. So we're making progress filling this area in. And this, you want to make sure that you've got all your gears so that when you turn this rod turns. Also, I am pleased to see that my piece here was not warped or damaged. So that's good. So it looks like for bag number 4, we are going to be using some pieces from this unnumbered bag, as well as the pieces from bag number 4. So let's get into it. And that is it for bag number 4. So it looks like we've got this full deck on here. And notice when we roll it, because of that wheel on the bottom, these 2 gears turn. And if we turn this, we can see the little gear down there turn. So everything's still connected, looking good. So let's move on to bag number 5. All right, that's it for bag number 5. So we've got more of this component here, and we've got our rudder. So if we turn this crank, we can make the rudder move. So very cool, that all works. And then we've sort of tiled off this back section here. We've added this component, which we will continue to work on to make it, I believe this is the sort of the steam engine. All right, so on to bag number 6. Okay, that is it for bag number 6. So again, we've got some additional components in here. So all of the mechanisms are working. And then this is a little piston that's kind of going up and down in there. So on to bag number 7. Okay, that is the end of bag number 7. So we got a lot of this decking done here. And now we are moving on to bag number 8. Okay, that is the end of bag number 8. And then we have a little kitchen. So we are moving right along. I always like to double check and make sure all of the mechanical parts work. All right, let's move on to bag number 9. That is it for bag number 9. So we have completed the kitchen area and built up the walls here. So let's continue on to bag number 10. That is it for bag number 10. So we just keep building up these sides, getting this all ready to be enclosed. So now we're on to bag 11. That is it for bag 11. So we finished enclosing this area, putting on the tiles, and then we also added these tiles on the sides to kind of finish that off, and the tiles on the back and the other side. So let's move on to bag number 12. Okay, that is the end of bag number 12. And so, yep, we are just working on this upper deck section here. And then eventually we're going to be building a section that's going to sit on top of here that we can move off. So let's go to bag number 13. That is the end of bag 13. And so we've got both of these sides on here with the railing, and I don't know if these are like life preservers or like tires. But anyway, on to bag 14. Okay, that is the end of 14. So we have our little start on our band platform and some tables with drinks. So let's move on to bag 15. Okay, that is the end of bag number 15. And we completed the band area here and attached it to the back of the boat. So on to bag 16. All right, so this is going to be kind of a tedious step. We're making 10 of these. So we need 10 of these, looks like 1x6 plates, and then 6 of these little cylinder pieces. So we're going to be making 10 of these, so I'll bring you back when we are done with that. All right, we've got the 10 1x6s done, and then we have 2 1x3s. So let's attach these. All right, that's the end of bag 16. So we got these railings in, and the start of, I think, the little boarding, I'm not sure what those things are called. Yeah, the little boarding platforms that will lower down. So on to bag 17. Okay, that's the end of bag 17. So we have this railing roof with the arches and then this front piece in. So let's move on to bag 18. Okay, that's the end of bag 18, and we have this little platform, this cool little sort of bunting detail. So it looks like we are moving on to bag 19, and we're going to be building up this area here. So let's get into bag 19. that is the end of bag number 19. And we have a start here on, actually, I think this is going to go here somehow. So let's continue on with bag number 20. All right, that's the end of bag number 20. And we've got some tables and chairs. The tables and chairs actually were both very interesting builds. And then we've got these start of these two stairways coming up. So on to bag 21. Okay, that is the end of bag 21. And we have this compartment in here. It's interesting that it just fits right inside there. And now we're going to be working on the top level. That's going to go and cover all this up. So let's get into bag 22. Okay, as we move into bag 22, we're also going to need these white plates from this second unnumbered bag. So it says we need 5, so that should be all of them here. 2, 3, 4, 5, yep. So we'll just set these over here until we need them. Well, looks like we need one right away, so let's get into it. Alright, that's the end of bag 22, and we have gotten this far. A little flimsy at the moment, but I'm sure as we build this up, it will come together. On to bag 23. Okay, that's the end of bag 23. So we have this little bathroom and bedroom area that we built up. So let's move on to bag 24. Okay, that is the end of 24. So we finished enclosing the bathroom bedroom area, and we added some doors, and then we added these posts here. So on to bag 25. is the end of bag number 25. And we got the smokestacks in, and we got this rigging, which I'm not sure how well you can see that, but we just took the provided string and we went up and around and down and all through there. So that is great. So let's move on to bag 26. Okay, so bag number 26 is going to be another one of those super repetitious things. So rather than, even in the time lapse, rather than sit here and watch this, so basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to be making 7 of these, and then we are going to be taking all of these little posts and putting them around to the tune, I believe there are 74 of them. So we'll be putting 74 things. And that's it for, I mean, the instructions for bag 26 are 2 pages. We're building, actually, I think we're going to end up building 14 of these. And then we're going to put them on, and then we're going to put these pegs. We're going to turn it around, and then we're going to do the other side. And that's it for bag 26. So I will bring you back when that is all finished. Okay, that is the end of bag 26, and we got all of that railing and everything done, and now we are on to bag 27. Okay, so we have this side all decked out. We got the top of the railing on, and then we've got this bunting. So we're going to do the exact same thing on this side, so I will bring you back when that is finished. Okay, so we have both sides and the front done with the railing and the bunting. So now we are going to, and this thing is getting very tall, so not sure how this is going to work out, but we're going to put this on just like so. Seat that down. Okay. And now we're going to add, again, we need to connect that rudder piece, which is coming up through the bathroom, but the rudder still turns. And now we are on to bag 28. Okay, so for bag 28, we are not going to need the main boat. So I'm going to set this aside just to get a better view. Okay, so let's get into bag 28. All right, that's the end of bag 28. So we have like the wheelhouse. Oh, that's good. We can actually, I was like, how are we going to turn this wheel? But we can turn it right here. So it wants us to bring the main boat back and test it. So here we go. And this is going to be going right on here. And then, of course, we want to turn, yep. So our rudder still works, perfect. All right, so it looks like for the next several steps in bag 29, we're not going to need the boat either, so I'm going to set it aside and we'll get into bag 29. Okay, so we are going to be making 3 of these, so I will bring you back when the other 2 are complete. Okay, so we made our 3 rings, and then we had made one of these, and we needed to make 11 more. So the way this is going to go together is we're going to take one of these, and just like so, and then we're just going to go around and we're just going to keep putting these on, making sure you have them all going in the same direction. So once you have all the components built, it's super simple to get this all together. And last one. So there we have it. All right, on to bag 30. Okay, that is bag 30. So we are on to bag 31, which it looks like we will be focusing on this front deck area. So hopefully that will provide us a good angle. Okay, that is it for bag 31. So we just have bag 32 left. And I believe that is, let me just double check here. Yeah, that is a stand that we can put the boat on. So let's get into bag 32. All right, there's the finished steamboat. And we will, of course, turn the camera around and take a closer look. All right, here is the finished LEGO Ideas River Steamboat. This thing is about 27 inches long. And I'm not sure how tall it is, but with those smokestacks, it makes it pretty tall. So displaying it might be a little issue, especially for me with limited shelf space, but it looks spectacular. So a couple of features right off the gate. If you move it back and forth on a surface, you can see that the wheel moves. Very cool. And then also over here, you can raise and lower the passenger platforms. So obviously when she is on the river, she would have them up like that, and then when she comes into port, she can lower them. And these can also swing out to accommodate different configurations. So very cool, very cool. I like all of the details with the bunting and the rigging, which actually was not very difficult to do. Pretty simple. I think it looks great. With this little knob here, you can also turn this, and it will turn the rudder down here. We'll take a closer look at that. So I'm going to go handheld, so hopefully this won't become too shaky. But this is sort of modular as well, in that we can take levels off and peer inside. So the first one that comes off is the wheelhouse, and you see how it connects to the rudder, which goes all the way from this knob all the way down to the bottom of the ship and all the way over. It's pretty impressive. So here we can see into this level, which has a bathroom and a little bedroom, which is very cool. This will also come off this whole level. Let me make sure. Yep. And so again, that pole, which connects here, is for the rudder. You can see it laying down there. But this level contains a little dining area, which is very neat. The tables and everything was a very cool technique. And then down at this end, we have the bar, or the sort of the cocktail bar music area with instruments and things. Very cool there. And then sort of a unique part of this is normally we would expect this whole layer to move off, but really the only thing that comes out is this little middle section here. So this is the section with the dining area. And then if we look in this bottom section, we have a kitchen here. And then here we have sort of a steamboat museum, which contains sort of a display of a wheel and then a piston over here. So it is very cool. So I'm going to turn this around so we can see the other side. All right, so here's another angle. And you can see that this, when we move the ship, it also moves. So very, very cool. Of course, on the side, we have this printed piece, the Amelia, which I believe is the fan designer's daughter's name. So that's a nice little call out there. Sort of turn it on its side, and you can see the rudder down here. And that pole, or that, you can see that it moves. And again, that mechanism runs all the way from the bottom, all the way out to the rudder, and then all the way up through all the levels. So it is a very ingenious technique that they employed there. You can kind of see in the background there, I have one of my gifts with purchase, this sort of floral wall display. I think I got it last year, but it just sits on my little table out here. So that is the LEGO Ideas River Steamboat, an amazing set, almost 4,100 pieces. So I believe it is the largest LEGO Ideas set. So what did you think of the River Steamboat? I thought it was a really great build. I liked the intricate, not only the gears that make the paddle wheel turn when you roll it across a table, but also that whole thing with the rudder that goes through the whole length of the thing, but yet the levels are still able to come off. I thought that was very cool. Also the rigging, where we ran the string through, and then with also the boarding ramps, that mechanism. So a lot of really intricate things to do, but none of it was super difficult or frustrating. You just follow along with the directions, and then it's like super satisfying when you finish it and everything works. It's great. I love that. But since this video is a little long, I will not keep you any further. So until we see each other again, remember to like, share, subscribe. do all the things. We are almost at 350 subscribers, so just 150 more and we'll have another giveaway. So keep spreading the word. And as always, happy building, take care, be kind to each other, and I'll see you soon.